Broads Media.
I'm not taking away their 9-8 season with an entirely new coaching staff and identity and first-year starting quarterback because they had an ugly playoff game. I hate to go down this path, but it almost makes a lot of sense for me, and it makes a lot of sense to me that we saw that play out. Now, there's areas that I would like to clean up. For example, Nick Sirianni. There's no way in hell when you see the cover three and you see the one-on-one matchups on the outside that you don't take advantage and use DeVonta Smith more. He's your number one playmaker. He literally is your number one option in the passing game. The fact that Jalen Reagor on fourth down is getting more looks, it doesn't make any sense that it's 17-0 and we're still waiting to get DeVonta Smith the football. That cannot happen. That's got to be in your game plan every time. Every time you see it, let's go to it. There's a reason why when we watch Jonathan Gannon's defense get exposed, and we saw that early on, right? 3rd and 6, 3rd and 2, 3rd and manageable situations. They were winning, and then, of course, Derek Barnett ends up getting a roughing the passer call, and there was all sorts of sloppiness. Avonte Maddox trying to jump around. He misses that route. Mike Evans on Avonte Maddox at times. Mike Evans on TJ Edwards. I mean, there were some ugly ones out there. Even when Mike Evans was on Darius Slay, a nice 18-yard gain. So, you know, they have those weapons to do that. Personnel-wise, it was going to be extremely difficult to match up with Tampa Bay, even without Antonio Brown and without Godwin, even with their Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans combination. It would be a difficult task, and you definitely did see that at times. Darius Slay can't cover everybody, and, you know, it was just going to be a mismatch at times. I understand that, but ultimately, you saw this team get out-competed, out-coached, outclassed, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm satisfied with that. I'm not satisfied with it, but I have to be objective and logical too. This sort of was supposed to happen. That is supposed to happen. Now, losing the game and then cleaning up some of the areas would make it a better taste in my mouth. For example, if you lose but you target DeVonta Smith properly and you try to expose the deficiencies in that scheme that Todd Bowles was running, well then fine. By the way, that's a Todd Bowles scheme that's been on for a long period of time here where this isn't anything new. This isn't flashing lights here going, hey, this is something that nobody's fully aware of. No, this has always been a Todd Bowles thing. So if they lose and you at least can acknowledge that they did the right things in their path of losing, it's a little bit easier. But ultimately, quarterback not good enough. Nick Sirianni not good enough. Jonathan Gannon not good enough. Special teams not good enough. Siposs with another botched punt, which gives the Tom Brady and the Buccaneers a short field. Now, you know, early on you thought, hey, you escaped one. And then, well, you didn't after that because one play and Mike Evans scores a touchdown after a turnover. So you escape a short field once early in the game. Then there's a big play that gives Tampa Bay the football. And then bang, within a blink of an eye, here comes Mike Evans and he's scoring at the end, not the end, but at that spot in the game. So, yeah, ultimately, your special teams was brutal. Jalen Reagor with the muff punt, and you could see the frustration on the bench. DeVonta Smith, all right, a rookie player just yapping away, fired up and pissed off on the sideline, screaming at Jalen Reagor. That was before the muff punt, and there's all sorts of film breakdown happening on social media of routes where Dallas Goedert, and I think on the broadcast, you even heard Aikman talk about the routes running, and he said, I don't really like this route here. There's two receivers or two players running. One was Goddard, a tight end, but there's two people out there too close to one another. And then when you see the film and you see Jalen Reagor's lack of effort and the Bush League intensity that he's using, none, the lack thereof, to get separation for his teammates, it's not there. Then you also see Quez Watkins Watkins running around, and he just gave up on it. And I thought it was a combination of Jalen Hurts missing the throw and it not being a perfect throw, and the combination of Quez Watkins and him not being on the same page with him giving up on the route as well. So it was all over the place. There was a Quez Watkins hold, which how many times under Nick Sirianni, and he's supposed to be the guy to really improve those fundamentals and clean up that level of the wide receiver position. We've seen that a lot, whether it's been in the red zone to take away a touchdown earlier in the season. Sometimes with these wide receivers, we've seen some penalties called, and that's supposed to be the expertise of what Nick Sirianni provides. So special teams, abysmal. Setting up the other team in a position to score. By the way, you're talking about Tom Brady, who I'm sure is loving every single damn minute of it right now, blowing out this team. You know how much he despises the Eagles logo and how much it keeps him up at night thinking about that Super Bowl that he lost. And then he embarrassed you on television. And you know, it's funny. I texted a couple of my buddies from Boston just a picture of, it was a gif of a kid just looking around with his eyes sort of awkwardly when Mac Jones was getting abused and they were getting their asses kicked on TV. I got the same exact gif sent my way from two different people, and all I had to respond with was touche. The only difference is, for me, I didn't have the expectations of the Eagles winning this football game. But to be fair, I definitely expected it to look a little bit sharper than what it was. And yeah, it's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth, and I understand the frustration. I guess for me, I'm just not going to the level of, now let's pretend like this season sucked and all the growing that happened was for nothing because of them losing to Tom Brady and the champions of last year. Whether they're going to do it again or not, this is an upper echelon team, and there's clearly steps to go. There's clearly a lot of moves that you have to make, and there's going to be, whether it's the salary cap situation, right? I mean, you got to get a lot more free agents in here to help out on top of these draft picks that you have to put this roster in a better position.